I need you to help me steal $40,000 from the PTA, my wife Alyssa said over breakfast. Then we can finally afford that lake house. I looked up from my coffee and said, okay. She blinked twice, her fork hovering midway between her plate and mouth. That's it? Just okay? Sure, I said, reaching for the creamer. What do you need me to do? The relief that washed over her face should have made me feel guilt or concern, but I just watched her shoulders drop as she exhaled. She had been doing shady things like this for years and has always gotten away with it. We've lost contact with friends and family because of her schemes. I figured this time would be the last one. How would we do it? I asked. All you have to do is sign some papers saying you did work for the school, sound system for the auditorium, that sort of thing. She had also set up a fake company and bank account for me. That night, I signed the first invoice. 2 weeks later, I signed the second. $35,000 so far, she announced one evening, practically glowing. Just one more round and we're done. Isn't this exciting? I looked at her and tried to remember when the woman I'd married had become this stranger who could steal from children's education funds without her hands shaking. Mine were steady too, though. I'd made sure of that. But then the problems started showing up. Another PTA member, Margot, questioned why the school needed so much work when the sound systems had been upgraded just 2 years ago. Elisa explained it away as preventive maintenance. Margot didn't look convinced, but let it go. Then the school's actual maintenance supervisor, Mike, mentioned to the principal that he'd never seen any audio contractors on site. Elisa smoothed that over by saying the work had been done on weekends and during summer break when Mike wasn't around. But then Mr. Pacifico, the school principal, started asking more questions. Why didn't these expenses go through the normal approval process? Could he see the original quotes? Elisa came home rattled that night, pacing our kitchen, insisting she could handle it, that she just needed to create more documentation. Then the district auditor announced a financial review of all school organizations. Elisa's face went white when she got the email. She spent 3 days locked in the home office, trying to forge a paper trail. She knew it. I knew it. The only difference was, I wasn't as worried as she was. She needed to know that there were consequences to stealing from children. Elisa had always been stubborn. I knew she wouldn't have listened to reason if I had tried to stop her before, so I let her dig her grave deeper and deeper until we arrived at this very moment. We need to return the money, she said on the third night, her voice hollow. We'll say there was a billing error, refund everything, claim confusion with the accounting. You'll need to back me up. No, I said. She stared at me. What? I'm not returning anything, Alyssa. The audit took 2 weeks. I watched Alyssa unravel day by day, watched her realize that every document she'd forged had my signatures but her fingerprints, her computer's data, her handwriting on the files. The vendor account traced back to her email. The LLC paperwork listed her as the registered agent. When the police came, they arrested her at the school, right in front of the other PTA members. The district pressed charges immediately. Embezzlement, fraud, forgery. I testified at her arraignment, explained how shocked I was to discover my wife had forged my signature, created a fake company in my name, stolen from children. My paper trail was immaculate. Alyssa screamed at me from across the courtroom. You knew! You helped! Tell them! But I just shook my head sadly, playing the devastated husband perfectly. Her lawyer tried to implicate me, but there was nothing. No text messages, no emails, no phone records of us discussing it. We'd only ever talked in person, and it was her word against mine. She got 3 years in prison, and I moved 2 states over in a beautiful cottage with a dock and a view.